The subject of this video is the new OpenAI Store and add-ins. Grab your coffee and let's get started. So you're interested in ChatGPT 4? Well, so am I, because I don't want to be one of those pale IT guys that sits in an office all day doing mundane work. I'd sooner hand it off to some intelligence. Tell it what to do, go for a cycle or a walk, come back and the work's done. So I'm going to show you some of my top add-ins that I use with ChatGPT, why I use them, and what they can do for you. Cheers. So once you open your browser and go to the ChatGPT site, you can click on the store and it'll present you with options, free, or you can subscribe up to 2 licenses. I selected the $20 USD license per month. You'll need that to access the store and the add-ons. So open up your wallet and have fun. Okay, let's take a look at DocMaker. So DocMaker allows you to write documents. You can take the URL out of the video notes, or you can look up DocMaker in the store. So I selected a legal brief on AI, and we're just going to go through the prompts. Now, there is a course you can take on ChatGPT, and it helps you with writing instructions and conversing with ChatGPT in I guess, a much more efficient way. But I want you to see the prompts as we go through and try to create this document. I'll be taking the same approach with the other add-ins as well. So I'm just going to answer its questions and then wait patiently while it generates. So decided to go with the US, and let's see what it comes up with next. For length, I think I'm just going to go with, I think, what are they offering here? 8-page is the normal, so I'll just go 8 pages. I could have just said yes, proceed. And here we go, it's creating the document. Click allow. Now, some of these add-ins, what it'll do is it'll take you to their site and ask you for a login ID, like your Google address or your Apple address. In cases where that's happened, I've removed that from the video, just in the want to be sensitive to people's time. I don't want you sitting here with a coffee watching an icon spin and drooling. So just give it a second, and there we go, voila. Let's have a look at Super Describe. Super Describe will take an image and create a different version of it, almost like a caricature of it, depending on what parameters you pass to the add-in. So I've selected a picture here from Sydney, Australia, and let's see what it comes up with. Usually it creates a variation of it. It highlights something within the picture that it likes, for lack of better words, and then forms a picture, which is a rough copy of it. But if you're looking for pictures that are caricatures or variations of pictures, you're looking for something a little more artsy, then this add-in is a good add-in for you. So let's take a look at Prompt Perfect. This is an add-in that will jump to a login page. So I've had to shorten this section a little bit to cut out those pieces, but be ready to log in with an Apple ID or a Google ID in order to connect to the service so that it'll create the document properly. So explain taxes. I think we can all relate to that topic, and here we go. So it'll ask you maybe a few questions, and it'll go through and provide you with all this information. So what I find with the document writing add-ins is it gets you 60 to 80% of the way. And then you've got to go in and massage it, make it more particular to the subject that you're working on. So depending on what the topic is, it'll either be fairly close or get you halfway there, but it still saves you some time, right? It still gets you a majority of the way there. You can tell the add-in to create the document, work on something else while it's generating it, and then come back. So it does save you some time. So let's have a look at Logo Creator. So this add-in is fairly straightforward. There's a few of them. You may want to experiment with the different logo add-ins. Find one that's best suited to what you're trying to generate. It'll step you through a few questions and experiment with some of the answers so that you can get a style of logo that you want. Some of them are very, childlike, cartoonish. Some are more detailed. It really depends on what parameters you enter. And as I mentioned in the past, that there are ChatGPT courses you can take that help you converse better with ChatGPT and the add-ons, and you'll get more out of the add-ins in ChatGPT by taking those courses. I've taken one just to kind of get a feel for it, and I've also used the Copilot type conversations with ChatGPT because it's based on ChatGPT 4, and I get better results when I use that methodology. So here we are. We're going to get the image now. So there you go. You got some ice cream. It's summer, so it's a great snack. Okay, so now let's take a look at creative writing. What this add-in will do is take some text, a paragraph of something you've written, and then critique it for you. So, Word provides functions like this. Most word processors do as well. You may want a tool like this and experiment with some of these add-ins that will provide feedback and critiquing. It really depends on what you're trying to write. From a writing perspective, I like some of the email add-ons. I can tell it what to write basically, and then I can take the output, I can massage it a bit, and then go from there. I've tried to use this on scripts as well to do some cleanup and a variety of things, and it does help. It really depends on your workflow, and would you really benefit from something like this? If you write a lot like I have, then you don't get as much out of it. Let's have a look at convert anything. So this will convert different file formats. Now, you may want to use a free converter, but I find those sites are just riddled with viruses and all these other different things and pop-ups that drive me nuts. You can also buy tools that do this. There's a few companies out there that have some really good tools that do this kind of work. But, if you don't want to spend the money and you rarely convert files, then this add-in could really help you out. So here, for example, I'm converting a old movie file, an MPG file, to an MP4, and it does a good job. It doesn't take too long, but then again, a tool set that you download to your laptop, and if it executes locally, it's going to be much faster for you. So let's just give it a minute, and there we've got the download. Diagrams show me. This is a tool I could have used quite a bit for my architecture documents. Just something to get me started. So being able to describe something quickly and then export it and then import it into Visio or whatever your diagram editor is. This is, again, something that can help you move along. And as you create more diagrams, you obviously have a catalog, and you can edit and refactor as you see appropriate. Quick and dirty is the way I look at it. It helps. Let's have a look at Video Maker. I'm sure you've seen all these AI, 1950s themed movie videos. There's other tools that you can use for that as well. There's a lot of people that have already documented and discussed that on YouTube. I may do one of those videos, but here's a add-in that you can use to create a video. It'll take you through a series of questions so that you describe the script, the setting that you want, what you want the subject to be, dialogue and type of dialogue, all that sort of stuff. So it works pretty well. There's also pop-ups and logins, which I've removed because I don't want you to be bored looking at that. So let's just see what it does here. Give it some approvals, and let's see it now generate an image or video. And then there's some additional processing here. And I've removed some of the screens because it wants me to log in. And then here, because it's free, I've got to downgrade the video. So there are some YouTubers that have talked about creating shorts using AI, and this is an example of it. You can create a whole bunch of shorts and then use that to, for content on your channel. You'd have to experiment with it so you get some decent quality. I think some have done this and it just doesn't look good. And that's probably led to the clutter problems of YouTube. Okay, let's have a look at Playlist AI. So back in the day when I was DJing, I was always listening to music and looking for set lists depending on the situation, whether it was Christmas parties, and I would build lists. I would use Spotify and Apple and a whole bunch of different other sources. This add-in helps you create set lists. It gives you the names, it gives you a description of them, and you can select the mood, what the occasion is, and it'll give you some tips and tricks if you haven't run a DJ event, or you just want some background music. It'll give you some ideas on sound and different things to do. So you experiment with it a bit. There's other add-ins as well that do this. And by using a mix of maybe Spotify, Apple, and this add-in, you can create some innovative set lists. And lastly, Mel Maestro, who enjoys writing emails. For the most part, I don't. I'd rather have something that will help me generate some, especially if I'm going to be doing a mass mailing. If it's individual emails, you can bang something out pretty quick. But if you want to do a mass email, you want something with a little more rigor behind it, a little more quality, maybe a little more politically correct than a product like Mel Maestro or any of the others that are in the store could help you out. So you essentially tell it what you're looking for, and it will then create the message. So they ask questions about the tone, subject, and a variety of different things, and then it will write the email. So just give it a couple minutes to process. I had done another video on this product in the past. It works fairly well. Like most of this stuff, it gets you 60 to 80% of the way there. And then once the email or the text is written, you can then go through and massage it to the specifics of your requirements, your style, for example, and add some additional, details that you want. So what should you do next? I would suggest going through the store, getting a basic license, and experimenting. There are so many add-ons, and there's variations to how well they perform and what sort of work they can do for you. Until you experiment on your own, you won't know. So maybe on a Sunday morning, get a pot of coffee, sit down, work with some of these add-ins, find the ones that you like, and then start using those and integrating them into your workflow. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please click like and subscribe.